episode 9 of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. My name is Emilie, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Emilie Bjørnå. And a little while ago, I think a couple of days only, I started an account on Elo, and you can find me there as Arctic Knitting. We also have a Ravelry group, which has been it's been much activity lately, and you can find it by searching for Arctic Knitting in the group tabs on Ravelry, and I'm going to link all of those places below on YouTube, so it would be easy for you to find me. It's been quite a while. It's been 3 weeks, I think. I was intending on doing this as a weekly podcast, but now it seems like I just can't do that. I started working and I'm going to school, and well, life happened. So I think what I will try to do for now is to make it at least every other week. Hopefully I will get back to once a week when things calm a little bit down, when I doesn't have that much to do. But we'll just see. Every other week will do for now. I just wanted to let you know why you haven't seen me in a while. So yeah, this is a little bit weird because my boyfriend is downstairs with our little boy. It's Wednesday morning, and I think it's 11 a.m. I was planning on doing this earlier this morning because we are going to a cabin to visit my boyfriend's mother, but then we slept until 10, and well, when the baby sleeps until 10, I sleep until 10. So I'm going to do a little bit more of Arctic Living segment at the end of this podcast, but now I'm just going to go over to talk about knitting stuff. So first of all, we had a 500 subscribers giveaway in the Ravelry group, and the winner will get this. It's a booklet with Norwegian patterns. There are some of them, or here are all of them, and all the writing in this is in Norwegian, but there are lots of charts, so hopefully the winner will get good use of this anyway. There's also 2 skeins of Tretråd strikkegarn from Rauma, which is a Norwegian company, and these are really good for stranded knitting. They are a bit rustic. It's nothing like merino, but it's typical Norwegian and it's what we use. And when you wash it, or if you make mittens from it, when you wear it, they will felt a little bit on the inside, so they get really soft on the inside and they are really warm and nice. So this is the price. I closed the thread a week ago or something, and I'm going to pull a winner now. So there were 34 entries, and I have a random number. Oh, you can there. So I'm just going to generate, and it's number 2. Let's see who number 2 is. Number 2, that is She Spins. She is from the USA. I have been talking to her quite a lot. She also has a YouTube channel. I haven't gotten around to watching it because, as I said, life has been busy. But she's a really nice person, and I'm so glad you won. So, Janita, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, but please get in touch with me with your address, and I will ship this out to you. So that's it for the giveaway. But I also have one more thing I wanted to talk about. And now I realized that I forgot something. But I will just do that another time. There is a stranded knit along going on in the Ravelry group. And the prices for that is this booklet, which is from the same company as the other one I showed you, with lots of Norwegian traditional knits. And there are 2 skeins of tretrådsstrikke garn in this as well. So this is one price, and the other price is this. I'm going to take this out of the bag so you can see the color. Oh, there's a window there. It's not quite as bright, but it is bright. But this is a yarn from Cardigan. It's on her Shawl base, which is 400 meters, 80-20 marine, superwash merino and nylon, and the colorway is called Boogeyman. So this is from a Norwegian indie dyer, so you probably haven't tried this. I haven't knitted with it myself, even though I have quite a bit with the moustache. I think that would be next on my list, but I have so many things I want to do. But this one is going to one lucky winner, and there's also a set of cable needles, this needle stitch thing, and a row counter. So that's price number 2. The knit along is started March 1st, and it is running until the end of April. And I have been doing some stranded knitting. I knitted a hat, Brageluen, which I don't have here because it is downstairs. So I'm just going to put it in the thread and I will show you next time. And also now I'm realizing that I forgot to talk about what I am wearing, which probably many of you are wondering by now. I'm going to stand up so you can see it properly. Did you see? This is my most beautiful knit ever. I don't think I have anything that is even remotely close to this one. This is made by my grandmother, and she didn't use a pattern because she never did. I'm sorry, I don't know what yarn she used. It's not finial, this is quite soft yarn. She made this some years ago. She didn't have this when I was a little girl, but when she passed away a little bit over a year ago, my mother got this, and then she didn't use it, so I'm making another one for my mother. So she brought me this to take measurements on, and she left it here, so now it's mine. But look at this inside. It's just so well made. It's really amazing. I was wearing this to a knitting retreat I was on a couple of weeks ago, beginning of March I think, and they didn't believe me. I took it off and I was sending it around the table, and they didn't believe me when I told them that my grandmother made this and that she made it without a pattern, until I told them who my grandmother was. Because I am from a quite small village, it's like 3,000 people at max, and my grandmother has made stuff for all of the other folks there, so they knew that she was very talented. So that's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing it all the time, and I really, really love it. I'm going to try during Easter, I'm going to try to get some good photos of it. I'm a little bit distracted because I'm looking out the window. I'm going to... No, I can't. I was saying that I was going to turn the camera so you can see. I'm going to do that. Wait a minute. Did you see? Everyone else is talking about spring. I'm shoveling snow like never before. Yeah, let's go over to my projects. I don't have any finished objects except from the hat that is downstairs, but I have quite a bit of whips. So I'm going to The first one I'm going to show you, I have shown you before. This is my sätestalkofta. It is made in this finull garn, this is the same yarn, it's just a new label. It's from the Norwegian company Rauma, and the yellow one is colorway 4103 and the purple one is 442. So I have talked quite a bit about this before. It's quite a rustic yarn and it's a traditional Norwegian yarn, and it's what I normally use for kofte, which is a Norwegian term for stranded knitting cardigans, to put it that way. So this is it. I haven't been doing much on this, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. I think I haven't been doing anything this last 3 weeks, or maybe I was there last time I showed you. This is how far I was, but it's been 3 weeks and I've gotten this far. But it's a really nice knit. It's a little bit boring to knit these lies, but I can't wait till I get up here, because that's where the fun begins. This is a picture of the cardigan, so you can see that it's quite a bit of pattern up here. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So that's my first work in progress. My other one, I told you last time that when I record next week, that in 1 week I will have this finished. That was 3 weeks ago. I don't think I've even touched it since. But this is the Henslow Shawl. It's by Beth Kling. That's it. There it is. So it doesn't look as good as this because it's not locked, obviously. But I can't wait to get this finished because it's really soft. It's made in Madeline Tosh Merino something, I think. I don't even remember. I remember the colorway is Antler. But it has this garter section in the middle, and when this is done, I picked up stitches to make this. And at the very end, there's a knitted on border, knitted on edge. But this is it, and I don't have very much left. It's just, maybe I'll get this finished this Easter. I'll take it with me to the cabin. But that's one work in progress. I have talked quite a bit about that as well earlier. I have a sock that I've shown you before. I haven't done anything more with it. And this is the Opal Klangbelten. And this is not the right, but this Klangbelten, but this is another color. And I think the color is Jazz Club. I really love how this is knitting up. It's a fish lipsky seal. But you know, sometimes the vanilla socks just takes forever. And I think I'm a little short. There it is. This is how I stuff my socks. And then I put it in the basket. So, new cast-ons since last time. I decided that this year I was going to join the sock madness. And so I did. And I got the first pattern. And I knitted the first sock. In the first round you had to finish like one sock or both of them through the heel, I think, to go to round 2. And I finished the first sock, I think 10 days before I had to. But then I forgot to take a photo and to send it in. So I am not in the sock madness anymore. I should have written down what pattern this is, but I didn't. But the yarn is Silja. Norwegian fingering weight, the supermarket sock yarn. And nordlys. That's it. Which is, yeah, you can see. The purple one is nordlys. So I really like how these two worked out together, but what I really hate about these socks are the heel. I don't know why anyone would want to knit this kind of heel. It doesn't fit my foot, it wasn't fun to knit, and I don't think it looks good. But of course that's just personal preference. But I want to knit another one, I just don't know when. Because I want to have them finished, but I don't want to knit it. But the pattern is okay to knit. You can see this has this slip stitch that goes. Black one doesn't really show off. There are black and purple slip stitch sections all the way through the socks. So that's my sock madness. That's so far I got. I just totally forgot. That's a little bit annoying, but better luck next year. And I am keeping this in my Pepsi bag. Cheers. More Skål. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. It was quite fun. The foot and the leg of the sock just fly away. But the heel, it feels like it talks forever, and it's this. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know the English words, but you need first this one, this part, and then part 2, and then part 3, and I think it's short row things. Yeah, it's a short row. Yeah, and just when you get to this point, it feels like you're done. It's like, yeah, I have a heel. No, you have 1/3 of a heel. So, but it's my first 2-color socks, I think. So, at least that fits me. And I did a pair of Senja last year, which is Norwegian pattern, when I first started knitting. And I did them in my size, but when I first started knitting, I was a really tight knitter. Like, really tight. Let's see if I have a needle. There's one. What I used to do is I was sitting in the sofa knitting, and I think I started with double point needles, and when I got to one needle I had to do it like this, and I need to push the stitches down the needle so that I can get them, because it was so hard that I couldn't just slide them down. I had to put it towards the table to push it down. So as you can imagine, those socks, they were like tiny baby sizes, and so hard that it wasn't really wearable. And I don't think I have them, or maybe I do. You can see the plastic containers there. There's 4 of them, and that is finished objects. That I don't know what to do with. It's not very many new things, but there's quite a bit of sewn stuff, like baby dresses and stuff, that is going to go into the shop eventually. I'm not going to talk too much about the shop because I have later. Next project. I decided that I didn't decide, my mother decided that I was going to knit her a kofta, and this is how far I have gotten. It is, see, I stopped in the middle of a row. It is 3mm needles, and this yarn is alpaca fine Viking yarn, which is a Norwegian company, and it's nice knit, but 1x1 ribbing for 6 centimeters. It just takes forever. So I haven't been doing much on this, but hopefully I will, if I get past the ribbing, or when I get past the ribbing, this will just flew away. And I don't have the actual booklet which the pattern is in, because I bought it, and I don't know what I did, but I think that I brought it home in this plastic bag from the shop, and I took out all the yarn and stuffed it in my yarn shelf. And then I don't know, but I think I threw away the bag, or I used it for garbage and I didn't take out the booklet. But luckily the booklet was available for free online, so I'm going to put in a picture of what this finished object would look like, and I am knitting it in the colors that is shown in the booklet. So I have that one as well. And as you probably notice now, I have quite a bit of works in progress, and I have said about every single one of them that I haven't been working on it in a while. And I have a reason for that, and that reason is here. It's a little bit hard to see because I use 2 short circular needles, which I tend to always do. Not because I prefer that, just because that's how it ends up, because I hate when they're too long. So this is the, and if you will recognize if I do like this is the flax sweater by Tinka Knits, and I am knitting this for my father, who is turning 50 the 10th of April. But we are I don't know what I was going to say, but he's going to get this sweater, and I don't think he watches knitting podcast, but if he does, well, you're getting a sweater. I made this in Drops Charisma, which all of you probably know. The colorway is 4. I don't know the name of the color. And the needles are Knit Pro something Harmony Wood, 4.5 or 5 millimeter. I don't remember. I think they are 5. Yeah, they are 5. Feels like 5. So this is a far out button. I was thinking that if I knit these 2 skeins, then I'll get ribbing done, and then I will try to do the sleeves 2 at a time by magic looping them on one long needle, and hopefully this will be done before Easter is done, because this is the one project that I'm knitting on now, because this is the most important one. And when this is done, I am planning on, because I don't have any projects, I'm planning on casting on this. This I got in a swap package not too long ago. It's another Crafty Girl. I don't remember the colorway or anything, and I don't have the tag here, but it's a really beautiful red. It seems more pink than this. It's beautiful red, some darker purplish and some light oranges. It's a really nice color, and I'm planning to use this for a new sock design. So I really hope that I will get to cast that one on during Easter. So I think that's it for works in progress. Sorry. I'm filming this using my iPad, which I use the Mac to. The Mac is standing like this with the iPad up against the screen. And then I put this on top of a shoebox to get the height of it. So sometimes it shakes a little bit. I hope it's not too bad. Let's see. I think that was it. I have some acquisitions. I'm not going to talk too long about acquisitions. I'm just going to show you really fast. I have this in a basket that I got from my grandmother. Like very many things I gotten from my grandmother. So I bought thing binder. I don't know. I bought this just because I have a wooden one which I really love, but it is just going too slow. So I bought that one some time ago. Also, I have bought these 3 colors. And I have an idea in my head. These 3 are going to be a shawl, and it's a shawl by my own design. I have the design, I have it sketched out, and I think I even have it almost like I could have written it down because I've been thinking so much about it. I just need to cast it on. And I also have 2 skeins of each of these, and I have 2 skeins extra of this one, which is going to be a pixie hat. Not for Ludwig, but for my friend's son. One of my friends has, or 2 of my friends has kids that is 6 weeks older than Ludwig. And this is going to be for one of them, who has a little boy. The other one has a little girl. And she picked out this winey purple color that I'm going to make a pixie hat for her daughter. And she also, oh, she didn't, I picked out this. This is just normal sock yarn that I just grabbed because I really love the color. It turns out a little more red than this. It's really an orangey rusty color. And I really love this. Also, some time ago, I think 2 weeks ago, I was on a knitting retreat. It was going to be a little bit bigger than it was, but we were a few people, so we decided to go to a cabin in the, not in the mountains, but in the woods, not by the sea either. And what we do is, normally we make like Secret Santa thing. And I got this, among other things, in my gift. It's Manos del Uruguay silk blend. I got this from the owner of my local yarn store, and she had put in this and some needles and a pattern for wrist warmers, and it's called fingerless mittens. And when I opened this, I just looked at her and said, "Did you make this for me especially?" Because this is a yarn that I've been looking at quite a lot, but it's quite expensive. But it's so soft, and it's 70% merino extra fine and 30% silk, and it's a great colorway. And I think I have some yellow in my stash from earlier on, so maybe I'll just put them together in the project because grey and yellow looks really good together. So that's one acquisition. And also I have been chatting a little bit with Aina, which is the dyer behind the new Etsy shop, the Happy Little Dye Pot. And she sent me some yarn. This one is called Riddle Eye, and it is really beautiful. I haven't had it opened, so I'm going to open it up. Ooh, there's some green in there. See that? I haven't noticed that green. This is all kinds of colors and lots of purplish, bluish. See? So this is going to be a hat. I haven't decided on a pattern yet. I think maybe it has to be a sock head hat, just because maybe it's not a sock head when it's in worsted weight, I don't know. But maybe it's just maybe it just has to be a plain hat, just because the yarn is kind of busy. But if anyone has suggestions for patterned hats that can go with busy yarn, let me know, because I get really tired of knitting sock neck stitch. So this one is the Etsy shop is called the Happy Little Dye Pot. I'm going to put a link for it in the show notes. She's quite new to this, especially the sewing part, I think. And I think she's been dyeing for a while. I haven't really asked. But she's new to selling. And the Etsy shop it's opened like a few weeks ago, maybe. But this is the color Riddle Eye, and it's 198 meters for 100 grams. And I really love how she has this handwritten tags. It's upside down. It just makes it so much more personal. And Aina is a really nice lady. So she also sent me this mini skein, which is going into my blanket. And this. This is the last of the acquisitions. It has a stitch marker. The other one did as well, but I have already... Sorry. I have already taken it off the yarn, so used it in my projects. But this is the 2 colors. It's Summer Birch and Sunshine, and it's 2 times 50 grams with 100% alpaca. Yeah. And it's 330 yards. And this is 2 skeins. It's 1 yellow and 1 green, which goes really well together, so I think they will be perfect to put in a project. And she has sent me this to give away to one of you guys. And it's not going to look very pretty because I really can't do this very well. There, it will be okay. I will do this one more time before I send it out. But this is a gift for one of you, and I'm going to open up a thread in the Ravelry group with a question you can answer to get this. And I think it would be something like, what kind of pattern would you use this for? Because I want the one to win this to be able to go back to that thread and be inspired to actually use it. I don't want this to be some kind of stash. Yeah, you get my idea. I want this to be used because it deserves to be something pretty. So that's it for acquisition. Or I have one more thing. Ta-da! I bought a set of cubics. Unfortunately, I have to take this back because I tried to put on the 4.5mm needle and it just wouldn't screw properly. So I'm taking this back to get a new one, but that's no problem. But I really love knitting with the cubics. It's one of my absolute favorites, and the only reason that I use the round needles is because... Oh, my boyfriend is coming. Be right back. So, my boyfriend just come up to change the diaper of her son, and it feels kind of weird talking to myself with him right outside. So that I have finished acquisitions, and I think that's about it for all things I had to talk about. It seems like this is not going to be a very long episode, but I'm guessing that's okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I have not shown you my Cozy Memories blanket. I have added 3 squares, I think, in 2 weeks, but I'm going to show you that next time. So, yeah, on to Arctic living. It has been quite Arctic lately. I've been watching some podcasters all over the world, and everyone says, yeah, it's becoming spring and it's so nice, and you can see the sun and it's warm and the kids are playing outside and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I have to pack in myself to go out to shovel snow for a couple of hours. I want summer. Oh, it's okay. No, in Easter it's particularly okay that it's snowing. It's a little bit sad that it's snowing now. We was supposed to leave at 10, and it's now more over 11, and I'm going to edit it and put this out before we leave. But we are going to visit my boyfriend's mother and his stepfather at their cabin, which isn't a traditional Norwegian cabin, but it is by the sea and it's really pretty. It's quite modern, so they have like a shower and stuff, which doesn't bother me. So we're going to stay there for a couple of days to celebrate Easter. Not that it's much of a celebration, but yeah. And I have gotten myself some new skis. So I might try skiing for the first time in like 10 years, which will be fun. But I don't have the, you have skis on your foot and then you hold stuff and you've seen people ski. I don't have those. So I will have to borrow those because there was out in every shop in the city. So, and I'm not even sure that I will go skiing because maybe when the other goes out to spend time outdoors, I'll just sit down and do some schoolwork. But hopefully I will get to go out a little bit. And my boyfriend has promised me that he is going to help me take photos of this pretty thing. So there will be some Instagram updates. And I don't know if I haven't quite decided. I did share one photo on Instagram Sunday, I think it was, from with a view from my boyfriend's father's house. But I'm not sure if I want to put like nature photos in Instagram because, or allow for that matter, because I want it to be all about knitting and crafting. And I feel like if I put in photos of nature, it just becomes messy. So I haven't decided if I am going to do that. This last couple of weeks has been quite busy, as I said. I have started working. I don't work full time, but I almost do anyway, especially this time of year. We have lots to do at work. Also, I studied to become an accountant, and in Norway the semester goes from January until end of May, and I started in March, so that means that I have 2 months worth of schoolwork to get through. I have been doing a little bit all the time during the year, but I haven't had the time to like really sit down and do the hard stuff. So it has been quite busy, and I'm imagining that it will continue to be. In a couple of weeks I am even going to go travel with work for some days, which I'm really looking forward to. I think it will be fun. I'm not going to I work I work with merchandising, and we are going to build a new store. I don't know the details yet, but either we are going to build a new store that hasn't been opened yet, or we are going to rebuild a store that has been sold from one chain to another. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it will be lots of fun. But this last weeks has been really busy. I have been knitting quite a bit, but I haven't been sewing. I haven't been sewing since before New Year's, and I haven't been podcasting, and I haven't been watching podcasts. But hopefully, I told my boyfriend yesterday because he was talking about this, because I really didn't have time to do this today. And I was planning on doing it yesterday, and then I just suddenly had too much to do and I couldn't get around to it. So we decided that we were going to go a little bit later to the cabin, because this is something I really want to do. And I have decided that Monday morning until 12, that is podcasting time. Not every week. I have to do some adjustments because I don't have schedules. My working hour, they vary from week to week, but at least every other week, Monday morning, I will do a podcast. And I have to schedule it in, but it's not because I don't enjoy it. It's just that I don't get time to it. And the reason that I now put it like this is when I'm going to do it is because I have to make time for it, because it is something that really makes me feel good, and it's fun to interact with everyone. And yeah, I want to do this. It's one of the positive things in life, and I want to keep the positive things in my life. I don't want to, even though I have lots to do at school and work, I don't want that to be all that I do. I want to do other things as well. And podcasting is one of the main things that I want to do, because it's so much fun, and I've gotten to know so many new people. And I am now going to end this episode. I have no idea how long it is, because it's in segments. But I'm going to end this now, and I am going to put it in my computer while I pack for the trip, and then I will edit it and I will upload it to YouTube while I pack things in the car and pack for the kid. And this is not internet on the cabin, but this is 3G. And I'm taking my iPad and my phone, of course. I'm not going anywhere without my phone. So hopefully these 3 days that we are staying there will be kind of dedicated to knitting and interacting with people online, because I know that people say that they want to take a vacation from social media. I want to take a vacation to social media because I haven't had time to be in social media as much as I want this last couple of weeks, and I really want to interact with you. So come on over and join the Raveler group. Add me on Instagram and hello. I don't know if it's called hello. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I am there and I will try to be active on those social medias these days, and hopefully I will be able to pass that on and just take a little bit of time every day to scroll through Instagram, because I want to, because it's so much inspiration, even though I don't need more inspiration because I have so many plans. But that's it. I don't know. I have to start writing up what I do because I don't remember anything I've done this last 3 weeks that is of any interest of anyone. But I did go to work in a store that is 1.5 hour drive away from here, and I did take some footage. I did a little bit of filming of nature, so I'm going to put that in the very end, and hopefully the next episode will be packed with Arctic living, because I will talk about the trip that we had to the cabin, and hopefully the weather will be a little bit better so I can go skiing and actually see where I go, and I will put in lots of photos next time, and yeah. But I'm just going to wrap this up and I will see you soon. Head on over to the Ravelry group to win this beauty. So bye.